Yo, what's going on, toxic gamers? The fans are still hopeful for a GTA 6 trailer too, but it looks like that we may not be getting it, man. I got a video that I want to share with you, and in Urdu real quick, I gotta say, अरे लांती कुत्ते दे बच्चों, यार अब तो ट्रेलर डाल दो, हले ते डाल दो कुत्ते दे बच्चों. Ladies and gentlemen, we gotta get right into this one. If you're new here, you do not have to subscribe, but like the video if you want the trailer too before the game comes out. Dislike the video if you want the trailer after the game comes out. Yeah, because the community be looking like this. Shout out to the homie Interroll.
Okay, so hear me out. We've now got two separate Reddit posts claiming to come from people who actually worked on GTA 6. I know, that kind of thing pops up every few weeks, right? But this time, it feels different. For one, it's been over 500 days since that first trailer dropped, and at this point, I think most of us gave up on Rockstar saying anything anytime soon. So when something like this hits the internet, I can't help but dig in and at least hope it's legit, because some of the details actually sound pretty grounded. Let's start with the first post. It's titled, I worked on GTA 6. Here are some insights on its design, and according to the guy, he worked on the game for less than a year. No dates, no specific roles, probably so Rockstar lawyers don't start hunting him down. But here's what he wrote at the...
My uncle works at Rockstar Games too, by the way, guys. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things, right? My uncle works at Rockstar Games. But again, right? Damn it, man. What if this time it is true? That's with that hopium, people are looking at this information, okay? So yeah, we're gonna do the same.
The beginning. This is 100% my experience, not trolling. Don't take this as a grain of salt, take this as reality, because it is. I'm using a burner account. I worked on GTA 6 for less than a year, and won't share specific dates or responsibilities. I have no knowledge of the release date. I can only speak to what I was exposed to, not what I directly worked on, to reduce personal risk. So yeah, could be fake, but I kinda believe it. One of the cooler things he talks about is this idea of seasonal or event-based NPCs, and that immediately got my attention. He says that character density will change depending on the day. So for example, beaches and downtown areas will be less crowded on a Monday but packed on weekends. Apparently that's what we saw in the trailer. That beach shot was meant to represent weekend traffic. And if that's real, that's already a massive step up from GTA 5.
Yeah, truth be told though, I can see that happen based off of all the patents that Rockstar filed over the years, or Take-Two rather, right? All the patents that they filed over the years makes sense though that they would have some like that.
You are dead meat! I want to apologize.
Now don't get me wrong. 5 had a bunch of scripted scenarios. Homeless NPCs chilling in alleys, people doing yoga, the odd conversation here and there. But remember how Rockstar tried to market it like every NPC has a life of their own? Yeah, they kinda didn't. Not really. The game controls where different types of NPCs spawn. Business, nightlife, shopping districts.
And the same will be for GTA 6 too, but I feel like that they will make the NPCs a lot more lively, a lot more alive, and a lot more real for sure. But there still would be this thing where, you know, like one, I'm not sure what's the actual count. For example, right, like you see this NPC, right? They probably got, I'm not sure, maybe let's just, for the sake of this argument, let's say they have multiplied this NPC by 10, so we got 10 different NPCs, similar NPCs, maybe 20, maybe 100. So yeah, right, like they actually make one NPC and then they duplicate it, and exactly, right? So we're gonna have the same thing in GTA 6 too, but I feel like that it's gonna be less and less, and the NPCs are gonna be a lot more alive, because that's has been the trend of video games recently, right? They improve, like we get improvements every now and then, so.
But it's still mostly random. And honestly, if you played GTA 4, you know it had way more personality. You could spot a postman checking mailboxes, a repairman up on the power pole fixing stuff, and that NPC would only appear during specific hours, like between 1 and 2 p.m., and not every day. It was subtle and rare to see, but that's what made the world feel alive. RDR2 took that even further. You had guys building railroads, butchers chopping meat, people doing real-timed routines. So if anyone could pull this off, it's Rockstar, which is why I actually believe this leak. GTA 6 could finally be the game where the world doesn't just look alive, it acts alive. I mean, just go back and watch that first trailer. That alligator walking into the store, that NPC running from the cops on the highway, road rage moments. They're showing us that the world itself is just as important as the story. Now, I don't expect dudes building houses brick by brick or anything like that, although let's be honest, the Mile High Club meme is still going strong. Rockstar's had construction NPCs pretending to build that thing for over 10 years, and it's still not done. But if we get stuff like
they've been hard at work, bro. What else can I say, man? You know, you heard the saying, right? The castle, or there's another, probably I'm butchering it, but the castle cannot be built in one day, bro. Like, the Rome wasn't built in one day. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. Rome wasn't built in one day, ladies and gentlemen.
Like people painting fences, doing yard work, cleaning windows, fixing wires, washing their cars. I'm all in. And the least they can do is bring back open stores. I mean, it was depressing going to the pier in 5 and realizing no one was selling anything. Just empty booths. In GTA 4, you could walk in.
By Rockstar, they were willing to sell you shark cards, though. Like, at least that.
To a diner or grab food off a cart. So if that beach scene in the trailer is anything to go by, I really think we're getting more active.
Yo, low-key, they were bussin', man. Like, you know, just getting like $1 hot dogs to repair your health or like refill your health in the game. That was low-key like bussin', you know. That, yeah, we needed like more we needed some pizza shops as well in Liberty City. Yeah, and I wouldn't mind if we ever get, like, I do want, yo, here's the thing. Okay, let's do an emergency meeting real quick, okay? Where do you want the next GTA game to be? I know, we need to get GTA 6 first, but in terms of the city, would you be down with a New York setting, or would you be down with something completely new and different? I would say something completely new and different, and then they can do New York City, right? Like, I do want to see New York City, especially like with modern day graphics, and yeah, because I mean, there's nothing like a New York City, right? I've never been there, but eventually I would. I mean, I'm in Montreal, so I'm very nearby, but like, yeah, I wouldn't mind Liberty City again. But I also want to see the game being set in a different city. Las Vegas would be good too, don't get me wrong, but we've had that only in GTA San Andreas, and that was like decades ago. So I wouldn't mind that. Of course, I do know for the fact that people do want Tokyo, people do want Dubai, London even too, right? These are like the top 3 settings that I always see. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I would love to see like a GTA being set in Dubai, but truth be told though, like, I don't think they would do it. It's probably, maybe we can have like several missions, that sort of thing, but I don't think an actual or a full-blown game would be set outside of North America, right? I don't even think they're gonna do like Toronto either, or Canada. I think they will just strictly keep it United States, and that's fine. But I wish we had one GTA London, right? But that's the thing though, that was so long ago, and nowadays I don't think they would ever do something like that. It's very, very hard to believe that. Now, surely I can see them like having smaller sections, or, you know, smaller parts of the game where you got a couple of missions set in a different country. For example, we've even had leaks prior to GTA 6 which were proven legit, but it also did say that some missions were gonna be like in Brazil, South America, but they were canceled, they were canned. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's up to you. We've had crazy amount of leaks over GTA 6 over like years, okay? But this was one of those leaks that came from a very credible source, and the rest of the stuff that they talked about, for example, Project Americas, Vice City, 1 male and 1 female protagonist, yo, those leaks were true. Except for the one that was about, hey, some missions will be set in South America, which, listen, man, you never know. What if? Yes, once, the only way we're gonna find out is if we get a massive gameplay leak, or once the game comes out, right? Once we play through the game, we're gonna find out whether there are some missions set in Brazil or South America or not. We're gonna find out when we get there. We're gonna cross that bridge when we get there, right? So what if we have that? So I do believe that we can have some like that, but to have a full game being set outside of the United States, that's very, very tough to believe. So I guess they can do New York, I guess they can do Las Vegas. What else? Chicago? Yeah, but Chicago would be a lot more tight though. I'm envisioning Watch Dogs in my mind, so I don't want something like that. But Rockstar is Rockstar. They can make it amazing for sure.
of reactive NPCs. And well, the Reddit post kind of confirms all of that and adds even more to the picture. Here's what the guy wrote next. Some NPCs or tourists will appear only during specific days or windows. I observed designs labeled Vespucci Beach tourists, San Fierro tourists, and Algonquin Tourist Event 1 and 2, as well as conference visitors and beachgoers. The most interesting thing I saw involved LS gang member variations, 1, 2, and 3. From what I gathered, they may tie into a Freaks and Strangers style mission that activates during specific time frames. You'll also see some NPCs at the beach on weekends in beach gear and in business apparel Monday through Friday. There will also be in-game events and concerts where tourists wear branded t-shirts, mirroring real-life event culture. Think conferences, concerts, and similar occasions. And honestly, that sounds sick. The idea of crowds showing up for specific in-game events or concerts, that's already way more than what we had in GTA 5. It gives the world this extra layer of routine, like things are happening even when you're not paying attention. And yeah, this
that's cool and all, but can a brother get to see the game though? Like, you know, trailer 2? Like, gameplay reveal? Perhaps, can a brother perhaps get the game though? Like, it's been a minute, man.
Immediately made me think of Circo Loco. And if you don't know what Circo Loco is, it's Rockstar's own music label. They've been dropping a bunch of deep house and tech house tracks for a while now, with some pretty big names from that scene. And you can tell they're really proud of it, so it's pretty much a guarantee at this point that we'll get a full Circo Loco radio station in GTA 6, but I don't think they'll stop there. I can totally see Circo Loco being more than just music, like an in-game brand doing club events, maybe limited time concerts. Imagine logging into the game one weekend and there's a music festival going down in Vice City Beach, NPCs wearing branded merch, people crowding the area, food stands.
Imagine logging into the game. Let's get the game here, brother. Let's get the game first, man. I wanna be logging into the game, man. I wanna be logging into the game too, bro. Everybody, the entire community looking like this. And here's the thing though, we do believe, the community is believing that we're gonna be getting their investor call on May 15, which even I've seen that date somewhere, but it's not mentioned on their Take-Two website. That's the thing. It's not mentioned on their website yet, but I do believe it's gonna be May 15. I mean, technically, if it's not May 15, it's gonna be either the first week or the second week of May, you know, because they do it every year in May, right? Like February, May, then August, and then November. The September one, that's like different. That's annual shareholder meeting. That's different, okay? But every quarter they do it. Now, they've also done this one, which is different. This is the one. So last year, they done one on May 16, 2024. So this is what we're looking for. And we're gonna have that again, okay? And during that investor call, we're gonna find out whether the game is coming out or the game is either getting delayed, or if we're lucky, they're either gonna drop their trailer beforehand or they're gonna announce it's coming, or yeah, right, or maybe we're just gonna hear either the game is getting delayed or still on track to come out this year. So that's basically what we're looking for, because either way, like, we're gonna find out very soon now. If the game is really getting delayed, you better believe it, we're gonna hear on that date, okay? May 15, that's what's it's being said, but it's not on their website yet. So maybe it's like, let's just say May 14, May 16, or maybe, you know, a week earlier, a week after. Generally speaking, it's gonna be May 15 though, but yeah, it's not mentioned yet.
Stands, security walking around. That'd be so cool. And then there's the whole tourist thing he mentioned. That's something I never even thought of, but it's such a nice detail. Like seeing random NPCs walking around snapping pics of landmarks, maybe wearing sun hats and carrying backpacks, or getting in your way at the airport. And if they've got different accents depending on where they're supposed to be from, that's such a clever way to bring the world to life. Previous GTAs already had a bit of that with NPC dialogue, but expanding on it would make Vice City feel way more real. Then the guy adds this part, which honestly caught me off guard in a good way. For environmental and design references, several YouTube channels were used, such as Charlie Bo, Florida Hood Blogs, Walks, and Wall Street Excursion Tours 4K Walk. These helped shape environmental behavior to reflect real-world realism in certain areas. They were used as reference points later in development, after much of the world had already been built. Additional detailing and a second layer of work were then added to these environments. Obviously, they used practical real-life photos and videos they captured themselves, but also referenced the YouTube channels on top of that. I also know that police body cam channels were referenced to help create some events, based on what certain teams were designing. And yeah, that's kind of crazy to me, in a good way again. We all know Rockstar does their research. Like, they don't just open Google Maps and call it a day. They send scouts to real cities to take pictures, capture footage, get the vibe, the sounds, the colors, all that. There were even leaks a while back. Can't remember if it was...
Exactly, this is what I was thinking as soon as you said that they send like actual. Yeah, that's the craziest thing, guys. I remember even making a video on this one, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around like 2020. My memory's foggier than Snoop Dogg's bathroom right now, but I remember covering this, bro. This was crazy, and it turned out to be legit, right? Like, people dug deeper into it, and it turned out to be legit, and it's still being talked about to this day because around this time, Rockstar was, you know, going around and mapping. And the funniest thing is that around that time, we've also, I believe we had Jason Schreier. Yeah, Jason Schreier, whether we want to believe it or not, that's totally up to you. Some people love him, some don't like him, some are indifferent. But what he said was true though, right? Like, he said around 2020, if I'm not mistaken, or 2021, give or take, right? He did say that GTA 6 was early in development. And at that time, people did not want it to believe. But looking back, I guess he was right. But we also had leaks around it that suggested that the game has been in development since ever since GTA 5 release. But it wasn't like full-blown development. And we also heard that there was a lot of stuff that was cut from the game too. So they were working on it for a while, but then they ended up cutting stuff. So they restarted development. That was another rumor, another leak. Whether that's legit or not, that's not... Yeah, we cannot verify that. But what Jason Schreier said around 2020, 2021 was that, yeah, the game is still in early development. And guess what? 5 years later, we still don't have the game. It's supposedly coming out this year, but can technically be delayed. So I guess in that way, bro, he was speaking facts though. Like, you know, he was speaking facts, and couple that up with this document that mentioned that Rockstar was, you know, mapping, or in Vice City or in Miami, like mapping the map for the game. Makes sense, man. It does make a whole lot of sense. So.
It's real or not, but supposedly Take-Two had people sending letters to hotels and restaurants in Miami asking if a team could come and do some scouting. So now, hearing that they were also deep diving into random YouTube channels, watching how people actually live, how they talk, how they chill, how the streets feel, that's next level. You get a way better sense of real-life energy than you ever would from a tourist brochure or a Google Earth screenshot. Now the body cam part is where it gets even more interesting, because apparently they used these footage as a reference for building certain in-game events. And you know what? We had a body cam shot in the first trailer, you know, the one with the raid, shaky cam, and flashlight blasting through a door. And yeah, maybe it was just for cinematic flair, but now that we know...
Dude, GTA RP missions gonna be crazy. Yeah, I mean, in previous GTA games, we could have always played as cops, right? We could have done vigilante missions. So in this game, we're probably gonna be able to do that too, but what if we can do it, like, actually, right? Like, actually, yo, or... like, do raids, like cop raids. Yo, that would be lit, man. That would be lit.
No, they were studying body cam channels. I'm starting to think it wasn't just a one-time trailer thing. I mean, imagine if they actually include stuff like that in the game. Maybe if you escape from the cops, you can see body cam or dash cam footage later, like on an in-game website or through Snapmatic. Or maybe there's a full-on photo or video mode where you can re-watch gameplay moments from different points of view, including body cams. It could be like some Watchdog-style replay system, or just a new storytelling element to make events feel more immersive. Before deleting the account, the author left us with one last spicy note. I want to be able to look back at all the comments saying this is untrue, or that it's just a trust me bro source, and then ask, when it turns out to be 100% accurate, is it still just a trust me bro source? Bookmark and screenshot this thread so you can say, oh, he was right. These are things that will not be cut from the game. There won't be any excuses. This was part of a second phase of development, meant to expand on the existing NPC framework at the time, to really flesh out the world in this aspect. I'm sure they finished it by now. This was from at least 10 months ago, and I had direct exposure for only a few weeks. So yeah, bold statement, and honestly, I kind of want to believe him. Like, he sounds confident in what he's saying. And some of the stuff he described does line up with what we've seen in the trailer and what we could realistically expect from Rockstar at this point. But of course, I'm still...
This is all what it takes to believe, guys. This is all what it takes to believe. Now listen, man, I've seen so many rumors, I've seen so many leaks about this game, bro. I pretty much covered everything about this game, bro. Like, the game, yeah, bro, I'm sick and tired of that already, bro. Let there be GTA 7 right now. You know, we want GTA we want GTA 7 already, bro.
Still keeping my expectations in check. I mean, we've been burned before with insider leaks, and we still don't have any real confirmation of anything new from Rockstar. So, yeah, maybe I trust it too much. But I think that's what makes this stuff so fun to talk about, right? Anyway, enough about that guy. Let's move on to leak number 2. This one's titled, I worked as a QA on GTA 6 last year. Here's what I can tell you, and you can already tell this one's gonna be a bit more grounded. The guy claims he used to work QA on the game for a while, but left in mid-2023. He's not pretending to be some lead developer or narrative designer or anything like that. Just someone who was around long enough to pick up on some wild things while testing and reporting bugs. So yeah, lower on the food chain, but that doesn't mean he didn't see some cool stuff. And some of what he talks about, honestly, it sounds pretty believable. So let's break it down. First off, remember that GTA 6 mapping project that...
It is always the lower level leakers with the biggest mouths. You know what I'm saying? But yo, this map looking kind of good though, you know what I'm saying? Like if the map looking like that, yeah, like it's gonna be crazy.
That's been floating around for a while now, the one where fans have been building this giant community-sourced map based on the 2022 leaks and that first trailer. Yeah, obviously everyone kind of knew it was based on triangulating stuff from the leaked clips. You know, matching landmarks, lining up streets, guessing how far things are from each other. Pretty smart stuff. But according to the second leak, that project might have actually hit a little too close to home. Internally, some people at Rockstar were apparently surprised at how accurate some parts of that fan map turned out to be. Like, they had actual meetings about it, trying to figure out if maybe some older version of the map somehow leaked way before the big 2022 leak even happened. It wasn't just about the public footage. The real issue was that certain elements of the fan-made map matched terrain data from early development builds, stuff that was never shown publicly. So either someone got access to something they shouldn't have, or it was just a really weird coincidence. Either way, it apparently had some folks at Rockstar on edge for a while, trying to figure out if something slipped out under the radar. Next up, Vice City is obviously the main city in GTA 6. Nothing new there. But what the guy pointed out, and what actually surprised him, is everything outside of it. And apparently, there's way more countryside than people think. Not just a bit of open space, but full-on backwater Florida type of stuff. Swamps, trailers, busted up roads, sinkholes, alligators, and just straight up weirdness. He said there's this one area people internally joked about and called Meth County, which already paints a pretty wild picture. And he mentioned seeing events in the logs with names like Strange Gathering and Property Sealed, which sounds like some secret cult or hidden side activity kind of deal. Now this next bit kind of blew my mind. According to the—
Yeah, I can definitely see like the swamp area being like having like these cabin in the wood type deal. You know, smaller properties like that. I think it would be lit. It would definitely be amazing to explore. Yo, for exploring the map for the first time is always this fun. I remember when GTA 5 came out, exploring the map for the first time was just it's a different feeling, man. It's like the same thing with Zombies map for Call of Duty. Not anymore nowadays, but back in the days when Zombies was like really, really good. The newer maps that recently came out, they're all right. I mean, they're pretty decent, but back in the days, it was just something different, okay? Like Zombies maps back in the days for Call of Duty, it was always fun to explore. I remember GTA 4 coming out, GTA 5, bruh, like I was, I believe I was 17 when GTA 5 came out, or 18. Yeah, something like that. It's, man. Oh, shit. And now I'm pushing 30, guys. I'm pushing 30, man. I'm pushing 30. But did you see this video, though? Did you see this video? She was caught live on camera. Click on this video on the screen, and I'll see you right there.